This is part two of our Sean Taylor series, The Unicorn. So listen, I'm not going to be here to paint a picture of bro being a saint or any of that. Clearly, there was problems right there. And I chalk a lot of it to being young. I have said it in the past. These people think they own you when you have their money. So let's look at his contract. He was still under contract during the time of his passing. I think the contract was around 7 years, $19 million, through the contract. And that equals out to about maybe 2.5 million a year. So let's talk about some of his on the field issues. He had at least 7 fines, but we'll talk about them in a moment. But this is the one I want to talk about, and this is the one that brought, in my spirit, I think this is the one that brought him trouble. He skipped the rookie symposium. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's where they go to teach you how to be an NFL player in the last 3 days. He tells somebody else that he wasn't fixing to go to that. Fined him $25K. He left and went back to Miami. You can't do that, but this man was his own man. This other one is sheerly, utterly disgusting. A scene where he spit in a football game, where he spit on Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back Michael Pittman. Do y'all remember that? That's disgusting. I didn't hear them ever reconciling or, somebody apologizing. But like I said, I'm not here to judge. That's between two grown. Quite a few more issues with being fined. That equaled up to a lot of money, which you are costing these people. You pay attention. You are messing with these people's money. Rumor has it he started going AWOL from practice. Rumor has it if they would win a game the day after, they get 1 day off, and he would fly out and go back home to Miami and then come back sometimes in time for practice, sometimes not. Now these people got you followed. I read somewhere where when he was 14, he got in an altercation at a basketball park, and some guy put something to his head at the age of 14, but it jammed on him. And don't know the details, but he got away at the age of 14. Now, let's do the math. 10 years later, he was gone. After that, bro, I started thinking he was on borrowed time at that point. Something is bothering me. I don't know how his home kept getting broken into. Why did nobody talk to him about a security system? It's not telling me how many times that his house was broken into, but for me, that seemed like a lot, or it's indicating that it was a lot of. And who knew when and where to break in from? Y'all got to remember, the NFL has people following these players, especially when you have their money. I don't want his sister to feel like she is to blame for them taking him away from us when his house was getting broken into before she invited these losers over there. There are quite a few people that knew he didn't have a security system. So I'm going to start calling these guys out here in a minute. And I suspect everybody. One, I'm going to look at the real estate agent, which was a friend of his. I'm not saying he did it, or I'm not saying he tipped these people off, but that will be a suspect of mine. Number two, I'm going to go with the NFL. I'm going to go with the NFL, who could have hired these losers. When I say NFL, I mean one person. This crooked owner, Daniel Snyder. You know for yourself this dude is crooked. The same dude that pimped out the cheerleaders. The same dude that pimped out his cheerleaders to wealthy businessmen. The same dude that tried to make season ticket owners buy his form of credit card to pay for season tickets. That very generous with his money to his family, and rightfully so. The problem is right here, he was doing it in front of people. These random strays that showed up. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. These random strays probably could have done this, and you would be right. I'd say about 30%. But if that's the case, how do you explain the other break-ins? This is where I start suspecting people again, because who knew he did not have an alarm system? Who knew that he was or was not supposed to be in town, but he happened to show up? I'm gonna end it right there, but I want you guys to share this. I bet you if we share this enough, we'll get one of these cheerleaders or some of these corporate heads to start talking. Final part coming up.